So I added the Dr. Tim's one and only, then the Panther Grouper, and two little maroon clowns, and an anemone, and then woke up to the cloudy water today, and I can't find the anemone anywhere. It was over here and moved into the rock, and now I don't see it anywhere. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Newbie Tank Series 2.0. This is episode 14 in a series all about this tank, my new FOWLR or fish-only tank, or some people call it a predator tank. And if you've been following this series, you know that last week I added my first residence. I've got a really cool Panther Grouper, awesome fish, and then I've got a pair of Maroon Clowns. And these fish are pretty cool too. I brought their home along with them. Well, if you watched the opening, you saw what happened. I got a sea anemone that they were already living in, and I can't find it anywhere. And there's a few other things that have me rattled what's going on with this tank. So this is the time where I need to call in my mentor. I'm going to give Mr. Saltwater Tank a call on the hotline. So let's go to the bat phone.
What?
Yo.
Oh, dude, it's Jimmy.
Dude.
Yes, Jimmy.
I'm the commissioner and you're Batman. This is the bat phone.
Oh, well then, I better like bulk up some and put on some eyeliner and yeah, okay.
Yeah, I need some Batman support here.
What, you need like 3 pizzas on the go? What do you need, Jimmy? Come on.
Well, I've actually got a list.
Oh, should I go get a drink and tell the family I'm not available for an hour? What? Let's go speed round. Let's go, Jimmy.
It shouldn't take an hour. So I just put fish in. I've got 3 fish in my tank, and I started off with just doing the Dr. Tim's one and only, and then I put some fish in there, and that's how I started my tank.
And then the whole internet freaked out because it happens every time we do a video about cycling with fish. They lose their minds. Someone puts an Achilles tang in a 20-gallon tank, no one says a word. You cycle a tank with Dr. Tim's one and only bacteria and a few small fish, boom.
Here's the thing about it, though, because it really got me thinking, because I don't know any better. I only know what you taught me, and I've only ever set up one other tank. So
that's
it got
because
me question.
I taught you right, Jimmy. That's all you need to know, okay? I taught you right.
Well, for the sake of the newbies that are watching, maybe you could give just a little explanation of that, because I actually went back and watched Dr. Tim's videos about his one and only product, and most of it's all about a fishless cycle. But he says like one line, and he dumps the bacteria, and he says, now you have a decision to make whether or not you're going to start with fish or you're going to do the fishless cycle. And then he goes on to teach the fishless cycle. So
yeah.
I couldn't really find anything that really teaches it out there. So for people who are, looking in the comments and going, oh, you what are you doing, Jimmy? You can't do that. Tell me your experience doing that.
Okay. 2 ways to cycle your tank with Dr. Tim's one and only bacteria. 2 main ways. 1, fishless cycle, which is where you use ammonia chloride in the bacteria, where the ammonia feeds the bacteria, and then you test, the levels come up, then they go down, and you feed some more bacteria. He's got it laid out on his website. We're giving you the quick synopsis here. The other way, which is how I do it with my tank, all my clients' tanks, I've been doing it for 15 years, don't have an issue with it, which is cycling with his one and only nitrophine bacteria and a few small fish. I'm going to repeat that last part because everyone misses it. A few small fish. We're not putting lots of fish in the tank like people on TV used to do, putting a few small fish and the bacteria. So the way you do that is exactly that. Once your salinity is right, the temperature is right in your tank, the fish are quarantined, you put the bacteria in, and then you put the fish in. Fish produce ammonia waste, the bacteria eats it, your tank is cycled very quickly. We're talking like hours. You may not even see any nitrate at all because we're using a few small fish in a large volume of water. In your case, we put in 3 fish, smaller fish,
Yep.
in a 200 plus gallon tank. This is literally like peeing in the ocean, not a problem. Let's say you're doing it in like a 90 gallon tank. We could put in a small pair of clownfish. You're doing it in a 30 gallon tank, put in like a dotty back. We're not overloading the tank because there's no biofilter, but we're establishing that with the Dr. Tim's one and only. People always lose their minds over that because they're like, oh, you can't do that. We're doing it with a few small fish, not a problem.
Okay, just so I understand, because if looking on the bottle for the Dr. Tim's or looking at his actually his reference card for cycling, it's only the fishless cycle. So are the fish taking the place of the ammonia?
Yes, you have to feed the bacteria with a waste product using ammonia. So the fish produce ammonia, urea, and that is the ammonia. Now some people say just put like a piece of dead shrimp in there. Thing is, the shrimp has to break down before it's going to produce any ammonia, so it's not a great way to do it. If you're going to do it fishless, use the bacteria, use the ammonia chloride, follow his instructions. You're going to need a test kit as well. You can do it that way. You can do it with the fish cycle, using a few small fish like we just laid out, and the bacteria.
So I did it right.
You did it right because you've tested your nitrates, and your nitrate reading is?
It was 7.
7 parts per million. Okay.
Yes.
Here's the thing. A lot of reef tank people would kill for a nitrate reading of 7. 7 is low. It's not high. The fish are fine. The cycle has happened because the ammonia was converted to nitrite. Nitrite was then converted to nitrate. And here you are at the end of your cycle with nitrates. Boom, it happened. There you go.
All right, so we got that out of the way. So the next thing I want to talk about that's on my list is my drip acclimation. So let me just share quickly what I did. I got the box from SaltwaterAquarium.com, opened it up in the dark because my fish were shipped overnight. And then you taught me that. And then I just put the bags down in the bucket, cut them open, dumped the bag into the bucket, and then the fish was in the bucket. So then I just took my Hannah tester and tested the salinity.
Wait a minute. You tested something? Holy.
Because I'm...
Like, the earth is shaking at this moment. It's not an earthquake, it's Jimmy testing his tank.
Well, that's super easy because I just dropped my Hannah tester in there and it reads it really quick. I don't have to pour reagents in and wait for 3 minutes or 7 minutes. So it's really easy to just take my little Hannah tester, stick it in the water, and tested the salinity and the temperature, and then did the same in my tank so that I could bring them together.
Yup.
So then I had my bucket. I poured off some water, so I had just a little bit in there, and then I dripped water from my tank into the bucket and got the salinity and temperature to match my tank, or pretty close. It was just a hair under. And then I took the bucket and I put the bucket right down into the... You like that, huh? You taught me this. This is the right way to do it, right?
This is like a proud reefer parent just watching their little reefer child like grow up and take care of fish. I'm all
Well,
the
I've seen people do it differently. I've seen them like take the fish with their hands, take it in a net. I don't want to do that because I just don't want to touch the fish. I don't want to put a net in there and scratch its slime coat or anything like that. So I just take the bucket and I put it in the water and they swim out of the bucket. So I never handle them. They're never out of water. They get acclimated over about 30 minutes, I think it took, to get it right where I wanted it. But the thing is some people, there was even one comment had like red flags on either side of it and said, oh no, wrong.
Emoticons.
And it's like, don't do that. And they're like, because there's bag water in there.
Okay, some shippers will ship you a fish with chemicals in the bag with the fish that they say can negatively affect the nitrogen bacteria in your tank. That's mostly a disclaimer covering their tails. In your case, you poured off most of the bag water. So the fish was just, there maybe was like half a gallon of water in that bucket, if that.
Oh, not even.
Right?
Yeah, not even.
Okay, exactly. Not even. Then you drip acclimated your fish, which diluted that water. And then you put the water from the bucket some tiny bit of that bag water, which has now been diluted, and you put it in your 200+ gallon tank. Okay? If there's enough chemicals in there to cause an issue in your tank, the fish probably wouldn't have made it. So, not concerned about that at all in terms of chemicals that were in the water that could affect the natural cycle in your tank. Now, some people are going to say, what about fish disease and the nasty stuff in the water? Here's the thing. The fish diseases that you're most worried about live on the fish. And if you poured off all the bag water and put the fish in the tank, you're not drastically shifting the needle in terms of risk, reducing risk of getting fish disease in your tank because you got rid of all the bag water. Okay? Like if you filled your tank up with water from another tank, like half of it, or even a quarter of it, then I might be concerned. We're talking about a very small amount of water, and the diseases that you're going to be concerned about are very likely on the fish anyway, so you're putting the fish in the water, which is going to be the bigger risk than the little bit of bag water when we're talking about fish diseases coming in the bag water.
And that's what you had taught me before, and that's what I know, but it helps for you to help explain it here on this newbie series, because I know that a lot of people watch this who are doing this maybe for the first time.
And of course,
all right,
don't do like I did back in the day, which was not quarantine and put fish in your tank. These fish are quarantined. You're quarantining the future fish. Good job there.
I'll cover that when I get my next fish here on my episodes about quarantine, because my fish, actually the next fish, they're already in quarantine, but I probably, oh, what's that?
Gee, Jimmy, what's in quarantine?
You'll have to tune in later to see.
Oh. Coming in next week, same bat time, same bat channel. What's in Jimmy's quarantine?
So my last episode, I don't think you even saw it, but I'll share with you what happened. So when I got my fish, I was on FaceTime looking at these cool little maroon clowns, and they were in an anemone. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty awesome. And he's like, oh, do you want the anemone as well? I'm like, well, don't they normally, they live in them anyway, and those two are living in it, right? He's like, oh, yeah. So I got an anemone, and I put that in here on day one. And I know this is fish only tank, and we talked about corals and things, but I thought that was going to be okay. I'll let you speak to it, but first I got to tell you what happened.
It died. It's gone. It disappeared. And I bet your tank got a little milky too.
Did you see the episode?
No.
You need to watch my episode. Well, it did. I put it in there, and right away it started to kind of move, and the little foot on the bottom, I wasn't taking in the rock. I shut my wave makers off, and just had my return pump going.
Yep.
And it looked solid in the rocks over here, and I was like, okay, cool. And that was like, I think like 8 or 10 o'clock at night.
Yep.
And then I came down and let the dogs out at like 3 or 4 a.m. and I couldn't even see through my tank. It was so cloudy.
Yeah.
It just was cloudy, and I could not find that anemone anywhere.
Yeah.
In fact, I went and I looked in my wave, I opened up my Reef Beat app to make sure my wave pumps are off, and then I'm shining a flashlight, and I'm like, oh, there's a little green in my wave pump. I was like, oh, it's in my wave pump. But it turns out in my wave pumps, it's actually like a green piece inside. There's a green piece inside it that wasn't the anemone. I never found any remnants of it. I know they're mostly made of water, but I found nothing, just cloudy water.
Yeah.
But that was a sad mistake, I'll call it.
You learned your lesson. Don't put the anemone in there right away. Give your tank some time, a couple months to grow up, and then try it.
Well, I want to avoid things dying and being eaten.
Yeah.
So I've been through that with my very first freshwater tank years ago, and it was
now
a
you have
very
a Panther
sad thing.
Grouper, which is going to eat everything in your tank tomorrow.
Okay, that's the next subject. This guy eats, man, I'm telling you. And I'm feeding him like twice a day because, and a fair amount too.
No wonder you have nitrates. You're just pumping the fish full of food.
I am filling them full of food. But here's the other thing, my tank, I had this diatom bloom, or what I thought was a diatom bloom.
Yeah.
So the sand, this is what, everyone calls the ugly phase.
Yeah.
Right. So I haven't done anything here, but I don't know if you can see. It's quite brown in there.
You got
Now,
any bubbles in that stuff?
You know, it did bubble. It's like it got like bubbles underneath it, and it got crusty on the top. So I don't remember my diatom bloom in my what? What does that mean, dude? Seriously? So it's not a diatom bloom?
It might have come and gone. It may be something else. Let's cross that bridge when we get there. We'll do some analyzation here. Send me some pictures. We'll go into that in a future episode.
Ooh, okay. But let me ask you this, because what I haven't done that I did when I set up my other tank is I bombed it with copepods when I set up my reef tank. But I didn't do that here.
Yeah.
I did get copepods today. This has been running for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Would they help my kind of algae bloom that's going on in here?
That was a fun little thing put forward a couple of years ago. It's not going to hurt. You need them in your tank anyway. They're not going to knock that down. Again, like, sure, you did it. Great. It's not going to solve the problem. But not going to hurt either.
Okay, so I can put those in here tonight.
Sure, go for it. Yeah, turn off the pumps. If you really want to take it to the next level, Jimmy, put it in a syringe and put it in the rock and then squirt them into your tank.
The copepods? Really?
Yes, that way they're right on the rocks and they don't get swept away.
All right. Do I need my return pump off when I put them in?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but not such a big deal.
Okay. So how long can I have my return pump off when I put them in there?
Oh, just put them in there 15 minutes later, put them on.
Put the pump back on 15 minutes
later? Yeah, ideally, though, you're putting them close to the rock, so they not just floating around in the water column. You want to give them get them close to where you want them to attach.
My rock works pretty high. I'll maybe put my hand down in there with the bottle.
Okay, great.
Okay, so that's pretty much my list. But this Panther Grouper, I still have concerns. And I already actually talked to a few folks that are excited about them that have larger tanks in mine, because I'm having a little bit of a, I don't know. He's a super cool fish. I mean, I totally dig this fish. It's really, really fun to, oh my God. What is that?
There's your Panther Grouper. See this? This is a shark. They're a predator. Just like your Panther Grouper, Jimmy. Oh, I want to eat all your fish, Jimmy. Here, come on. Yummy, 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 clownfish. Oh. Yeah, sorry, Bruce. Probably not. Not concerned about it. The clowns are sizable. The Panther Grouper is smaller. The clowns are going to grow pretty big. Those maroons can get quite large, and they're mean. Not concerned about your Panther Grouper trying to take down the clowns.
Speaking of aggressive clowns, these are not like my other clowns. They go after my mag scraper, dude.
They're going to go after your hand when you put it in your tank next.
They go after my mag scraper. I go in there and this thing's attacking it. I'm like, what the heck?
So if that Panther Grouper comes over, they're going to be like, let me show you who's boss.
Well, I started trying to target feed. I was trying to feed the Panther Grouper with the tweezers because I really wanted him to know that this is where you come to get food, because I didn't want him going after other things. But I started just broadcasting now. So now, I just wiggle my finger and he comes up here. He comes up here and he comes to my feed door. But then I'm also putting the little feed door in my, I got these cool lids, man. They're really awesome. So there's a little feed door there and I broadcast right in there and he comes up. But then I mix his meaty food with mysis shrimp, and the clowns eat at the same time. They're munching on the mysis.
Yep.
So, yeah, that fish. Have you ever had a Panther Grouper?
I did, back in my first predator tank, first saltwater tank, back in 1990 or so. Yep, cool fish.
Did he get real big, or?
He got sizable, and then I traded him in and went to a reef tank, which really wasn't a reef tank, but that's what we called it back then. So, yeah, they get big. Now, you went through something that a lot of people do. I did it when I was first getting started. You told someone you had a predator tank, and they're like, oh, cool, you should get this fish. And you're like, oh, you've been around the industry. You know what you're talking about. I'll just take your word for it. I'm not going to do any research. I'll just take your word for it. And now that you have it, you're kind of like, Don't know about that. So been there, done that. Lesson learned. Always do your
That's
research.
exactly what happened. I mean, I
Yep.
talked to someone and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I want that. So I figured that's a good place to start. What a cool fish.
Yep.
But yeah, so so hopefully I get to enjoy him for some time. And who knows, maybe he'll do good in here for a long time. But and then the next fish, we'll talk about them later on another episode.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that was really helpful, and hopefully it's helpful to anybody that's been watching here. It's going to be fun to read these comments too, because there's opinions. But you know, I do love this community because even in the comments here, and I encourage people to comment, and it also is a good way to learn. But it's also a little bit like Yelp comments sometimes.
What's
Thank
your
you for
Yelp
doing
rating,
that.
Jimmy? Are you like 5 stars, 4.8 stars with
Oh,
2,000
dude,
reviews?
5 stars, baby. 5 stars on Yelp.
Let's see. How about you? Everyone can give you a Yelp star rating. Do that in the comments. Let's see where you go.
What's my Uber Google rating? Yeah,
And we want to know
Oh
it.
God.
0 stars
great.
to 5
Here we
stars.
go.
Rate Jimmy.
Oh, rank my
Okay.
stars.
I'll go look at my fish tank again while your star ratings are accumulating or not.
All right, dude. Okay, see you later, I guess. See ya. Bye.